Hey everyone, it is summer with Summer Stitches and I am back for a long overdue update. We've had a really busy summer. My last update I think was June 1st. I think I did like a wrap up for Mania. Sorry, don't know what that is. I think I did a wrap up for Mania and that was my last update, and I was like, oh yeah, we're getting ready to go on vacation, but I'll do another update before we go next week, and it never happened. I actually don't even think I did that much stitching between that update and when we left for vacation. It was just crazy at my house. So I know I didn't do an update, and I think I only stitched maybe 4 or 5 nights between, like, in that week and a half. It was just busy trying to get everything together before we left, and then getting the car loaded and making sure the kids were all together. It was just, by the time, like, I think the day before we left, I was gonna sit down and do an update, and I didn't, obviously, I didn't. So since then, well, first, let me backtrack a little bit. I want to say thanks to everybody who did check on me and has commented on any of my videos, and especially those of you who follow me on Instagram and have checked in when I kind of went radio silent for several weeks when we were actually traveling. Life was just crazy. So I really appreciate it to anybody who has checked in and has followed me on Instagram. It's at summer_stitches. Let me double check. I should probably know that, but I don't. Yeah, summer_stitches on Instagram. Lori, you check on me all the time, and I really, really appreciate it. You've also given me a lot of encouragement on finishing really anything. So I really appreciate it, and I wanted to give you a special thanks. So back to our trip. The boys and I, drove to Florida. It's a 3-day trip. We stopped once in Louisiana, we stopped once in Alabama, and then we eventually make it all the way there. So on our way over, it was actually a 4-day trip. We stayed 2 nights in Alabama with my grandmother, and we went to a water park with a cousin of ours, and her little boy, and we had a really good time. I have one of my kids is right there. You see his shadow. We had a really good time, and then we went to Florida. We spent a week down towards Disney. We didn't do Disney because in June and July, it's just too hot. So we spent the 2 days in Alabama, and then we finished our drive down to Florida. When we got there, we stayed 2 nights with my mom, and then we went to Disney, or stayed by Disney. We didn't do the Disney parks because Disney in June in Florida is too crowded and too hot. I didn't want to do it. Just wasn't going to do it. So we did 3 days of water parks instead, which was fine. My kids much prefer the water parks. There shockingly were no lines. We did SeaWorld and the Disney water parks. Nope, we just did 2 days of water parks actually, because we came back a day early. So we did 2 days of water parks. We did Aquatica, which was all right. Maybe if my kids were like 8 to 12, they would have liked it a lot more. But my kids are 10 months to 4, and it was just a little too, there weren't any rides they could do. They really enjoyed the, like the kiddie section, but it was too busy. There were too many spaces I couldn't see. It stressed me out too bad. So we didn't stay well, we stayed all day, but we did a lot of like time in the not so lazy river. I don't know what it was actually called, but it was fast. It wasn't the actual lazy river, which we didn't realize until we were leaving. And the wave pool. And then we did do like the kiddie sections a little bit, but not all day long like they would have preferred. And then the next day we did Blizzard Beach, which was one of the Disney parks, and they loved that. We got there at 9 a.m. We went with my sister and her boyfriend. We got there at 9 a.m. and we didn't leave until like 4. They had such a good time, and it's Disney, so there were so many rides that they could do, all the rides they could do. We did the big family tube ride probably 6 or 7 times. My 4-year-old had an absolute blast. We left the baby with my mom. She didn't come. She kept him at home instead. So it was nice. We didn't really have to worry about him. It was easy just with the older two. But yeah, we had a blast at the Disney park. I highly recommend it, especially if you have little kids. SeaWorld was alright, but the Disney park is really where it's at. And then we spent a couple days at the hotel, at the water park at the hotel, and they really, really liked that too. So we did that. We were there for a week. And then when we came home, or we went back to my mom's house for a couple days, and after a couple days, the baby and I flew back home to Texas and stayed, or the older two stayed they would spend Monday through Thursday with my mom and Friday, Saturday, Sunday with my mother-in-law. She's a teacher and teaches summer school, so she couldn't keep them during the week. So it worked out. They split them back and forth for about 2.5 weeks. They had a really good time. They went swimming like every other day. They went to amusement parks. They broke my mother-in-law's coffee table and her glass lamp. They locked my mom out of the house 3 or 4 times. So they all had fun. I don't think they'll be volunteering to do that anytime soon again, but that's fine. I really miss them, so I don't know if I would leave them like that again anytime soon. Talk to me about it in a year, like next May, when I've had them for a full year, and I may change my tune. But right now, I don't see myself doing it again. My dog's over there. She's the one who never comes upstairs. So anyway, when the boys were in Florida and it was just the baby and my husband and I, we were in a rental, and we knew our lease was up in January, this coming January. So we knew we wanted to build a house. So we came up and we looked at a property, or we looked at a neighborhood, to see how we liked the neighborhood and if we, to potentially build, to have the house ready, in January when we were ready to move. And saw a home that was already done. It had never been lived in, but it was already completed and ready. And it had been finished for about 8 months, and there had been no bites on it. So they just kept reducing the price. So when we walked it, we walked it and we really liked it. We went home and we talked about it, and we realized that if we waited and we decided to build, there would be no way we'd be able to get this floor plan, which really works for a family. There'd be no way we could get this floor plan for this amount of money in 6 months. So we sort of willy-nilly bought a house, and in like a month, give or take a couple days, not even a month actually, it was probably about 3.5 weeks, we saw the house, signed a contract. I went back to Florida and picked up my older 2 kids, came back, packed up our whole old house, and moved, and have sort of unpacked. So that's why I've not had a whole lot of updates, because I really just haven't had the time. We've been nonstop. We moved last Thursday, so a week ago yesterday. We're still sort of living out of boxes. I'm in my husband's office right now. And it has kind of become like the staging ground, because it's the only room that I'm not actually responsible for. So honestly, anything that I don't want to have to deal with, I've shoved in here. So there's boxes all along, like over here, all along this wall. You can't see, you can only see the corner of one. But trust me, there's a bunch of boxes over here. All of his stuff that he hasn't dealt with yet is behind me. Like computers and printers and just miscellaneous stuff is over here. Stuff that I've had to remove from my kids' playroom because it was becoming a weapon is over here. And I've unpacked as much as I could, as quickly as I could, and now the rest of it is playing with the space. So when my husband and I first moved in together, we were in an 800 square foot apartment, and we were 20 years old. We were in an 800 square foot apartment. We bought everything we owned from IKEA because we weren't even married yet. So just in case it didn't work out, like, we didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on anything to have to divide it up later. You know, an $80 coffee table from IKEA, you can just take it. It's fine. So we have since upgraded some of our stuff, but when we moved from our apartment to our first house, it was only about 1,400 square feet. And a lot of the stuff we just took from the apartment to that house and made it work. And then we had 2 kids in that house, and the space just got really, really small, really, really fast. So we never really upgraded anything. And then we moved to a rental, and I wasn't going to buy a whole lot of stuff to decorate a rental house that I knew we were only going to be in for about 18 to 20 months. So here we are 8 years later, still using a lot of IKEA stuff that doesn't fit our house anymore, because our house is much bigger than that 800 square foot apartment was. But since I haven't upgraded anything, sorry about my kids. Their playroom is like right outside this room, and there's like an open air space right here, so you can hear everything. I'm sorry. But at least they're upstairs and not down here running around on the tile floor. So anyway, that's basically been where I've been for the last 2 months. So we're in, and I hope to be on a more regular schedule now. I'm going to try and go back to updating every 10 days or so. So probably I'll do like a Friday, and then not the following Wednesday, but the Wednesday after, if that makes sense. So we'll see. My oldest starts school again on the 21st, I think. And my middle will go on the 28th. He starts on the 28th twice a week. So I'll have a couple hours, a couple times a week where I only have the baby. And I'm hoping that it times out right where it's nap time for him for a good chunk of it. We'll see. That's my hope, at least. So, we'll see how that plays out. So yeah. So that's, I think, all I have about, like, previous, where I've been, life updates, I guess. I think that's it. We're, like, 20 minutes in already, and I haven't even talked about stitching. So, I'm going to talk about my whips. I have one whip that is MIA. It's not in the box. The 2 boxes that I packed with all my cross-stitch stuff, I honestly have no clue where it is. I know it's here somewhere. It's just still in a box somewhere. Because everything is here. We totally 100% cleaned out that old house. There was nothing in there when we went and did a walkthrough the other day. So I don't know where it is. It's in a box somewhere. It's here. I'll find it as soon as I'm done. I really just, I'm looking around like it's gonna jump out at me. I don't know where it is. But that's my, back at the ranch. It's an Artiste Kit. I only worked on it 2 days since, I think I worked on it 2 days since I saw you guys last. But here is, let me see, I think I can just pull up a picture of it and do it that way and show you from my phone. Let's see. Give me just a second. Here it is. Maybe. So that's when we were in Florida. I was only able to stitch when we were in Florida, like 4 days maybe. So I didn't get a whole lot of stitching done, but that's all right. So here is, it's gotta be right here. Here's the last time I worked on it. I think I worked on the, I finished up some more of this black cow. Whoops. I finished up some of this black cow right here. And then I worked on this, the butt of this brown cow. I don't have a like cover photo to show you guys because can't find it. So, I think I showed it in one of my old videos, so go look on one of those if you really want to see it. If not, hopefully by the next time I film, I will have it. Because I really have no clue where this is. And I really enjoy stitching on it, so I'm kind of bummed that I can't find it. But that's okay. Whenever I find it again, I'll put a couple days of work into it. Potentially. I would like to, but we'll see. So that's that one. That was the first one I worked on. And these aren't these aren't going to be in any kind of order because I just don't remember. And I only have a short amount of time before the baby wakes up and the big kids are entertained, so we're just going to go with it. So this is a finish. This is the State Love, the Home Sweet Home kit. And of course I did Texas. So there's that. It comes with the hoop to frame it in. And I'll probably frame it like that. I'm not totally sure yet. I don't know what else I would do with it, so I'll probably just do that. And this will probably go up into the playroom with the boys. Because why not? So this was the stuff that I took with me to Florida. I took a couple small kits, like small pieces that were all together. So I didn't have to worry about like so I didn't have to worry about taking anything like big and bulky. All the threads were already together. I didn't have to worry about any of that. So I took that Home Sweet Home kit, and then I also took my whatever, these kits, the Christmas kits, to work on these. And I finished the third one that I started. I don't really know if they're in any, like, what the actual order of them, if you're supposed to stitch them in any order, doesn't matter. So I finished this one. I think I finished it when I was in Florida. Here it is. And then I've been working on this one the last couple days since we've finally gotten settled in. I think I've worked on it 3 nights now. 2 nights. I don't really know, but 2 or 3 nights. And I've kind of been working on this middle, getting the middle done and finishing up over here. This one has been kind of a challenge because it's like 40 stitches high and it's like a single color all the way down. So I get to like here and I get freaking bored. So this one has been a struggle. So I'm hoping to get the rest of this tree done. The tree, let me see. Where am I? Oh, over here. If I can get the rest of this tall tree done. This tree is plaid, so that one's not so bad. And then this one at least has some like dimension in it. Also not bad. And these colors are also similar. It's like 4 shades of red. They're also similar that they blend in, and I don't want to say I miscount, but I'm constantly like triple checking to make sure I have the right one. It's not a hard stitch. It just kind of, this tree isn't going as fast as the other ones. Sorry, I just heard a bang. I want to make sure there's no crying. It's not a hard stitch. It just, this part has taken a lot more concentration than the other one did. So this one I'm going to show you last. I had another finish. This was before we left for Florida. This was my, like, I really wanted to get it done before we left for Florida so that I didn't have it hanging over me. And this was my Whimsy Thoughts. They're little like name tags, but obviously not name. I finished, what are the other ones? Hope, Snow, and Joy for Mania. And this one I started in May also and finished it right before we left. Just a quick little stitch. I'm going to cut them out and put them on tags for the boys' teachers for Christmas probably with something for them. I'm not sure what yet. But at least I have them done, so that was half the battle. I can probably stitch, I really liked Hope. That was probably my favorite one. So I'll probably stitch Hope a couple more times to put on them. I really like Joy too. Snow was the only one I didn't like because there was a lot of white, and it's on white Aida, so it was really hard. It was really hard to see. It wasn't hard to stitch. It was just hard to see. I feel like you can't really, I feel like you don't really get like the full effect of it because you can't see a lot of it. I could probably backstitch the outline in like a gray. Maybe I'll do that. So something else that I worked on, and I worked on this one before we went to Florida. This was, most of my other stuff was already packed away. This was one of the last things that I kept out because it was with the Back at the Ranch project. So wherever, I thought they were going to be together. Clearly they are not. But this is my Safari birth record. This is for the baby, who will be 1 next month, and this is all I have done on it. Let's see, this is the top. I have some of the border of, I have some of this border done right here, and then all of these X's have like 15 or 20 fractional stitches in each one, and this is on Aida, so it's fractional stitching that's piercing Aida, so it's I don't want to say it's a lot of work, but my fingers start to hurt after a while, so I got bored. Usually I will stitch an entire border and then work on the inside, but my fingers were hurting and I needed something that wasn't fractional stitches, so I started on here. I mean, there's not a whole lot to say about this. It's alright. I'm not thrilled with the Aida. It is what it is, though. The other two were stitched on Aida, so I didn't want to do, I wanted to keep them cohesive. They're not going to be framed together, but I wanted them cohesive, I guess. So, that's where I'm at with that one. This one will come back out at some point, I guess. I really have to, like, talk myself into working on that one, because I just don't. I don't want to say I don't enjoy it, but I don't enjoy it. So, last but not least, well, not last, but this is my last whip. The other one I'm going to show you is a finish. This is my mini A Moment in Time, my Heaven and Earth. It is by, I don't know where the cover sheet is. Oh, here it is. It's by We Be Kathleen. This is sort of what it'll look like when it's finished. My color ink was running out when I printed this, but it's a pretty accurate representation of what it'll look like when it's done. And this, I can't even tell you what I worked on the last time because it's been a while, but I may be able to tell you. This is being stitched on a 28 count even weave. It's 2/2. It's the cheap MCG textile even weave. But to be honest, I haven't really had a whole lot of issues with it. This is the way it goes. Sorry. It's huge. I did the mini because it was my first Heaven and Earth. So I'm like, let me just do the mini so that way... Oh, shoot. Hold on, I lost the magnet. Let me just do the mini so it's not that big. And then when I mapped it out, like I kind of looked at it, measured it out. I didn't like how small it was. So that's how I ended up doing 2/2 on 28 count because I wanted it a little bit bigger. But then I try and like handle it and it's just a freaking joke. So here is, lordy. I'm sorry, guys. Here is what I have done so far. Where are we? There we go. So this over here, this is the end of the chart. So let's see. Since I've worked on it, I think this was pretty much where I was. This is what I've done. Over here, I've done this part. And maybe, I really don't even know. This is the section I was working on over the last, in May. This is what I was working on, but I don't remember I don't remember what I was actually, where I actually was. I don't think I was over here. No, I had to have stopped here somewhere. So this is, I don't know. Give or take, this is about where I was. Or this is about what I worked on. Sorry. So here's the whole thing so far. Maybe. That's the whole thing. Let's see. There we go. So it's a really narrow chart. It's only like 2 pages and I think there's like maybe 50, 200, sorry, I had to think about it, maybe 200 columns on this last page, but it's like way down to here. So it's this is page 1, 2, 3, this is 4, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 maybe? I don't know. There's still several pages down. I clearly don't know. So I still have quite a bit of work to do on this, but I'm really happy with it. I really, really enjoy working on it. I know like down here somewhere, I think this is the row, like this is the diagonal where the overalls start to come in. So I'm really excited to get out of the hair because that hair is brutal up here. I'm really excited to get out of the hair and down into the overalls. because it's so cute. And I just need something, they're blue. I just need something different. I'm tired of the pastel-y. And I bought this chart like 3 times because I bought the mini, and then I bought it with no background. And then I think I also bought the full-size chart because I couldn't decide what I wanted. And I had that chart like 3 or 4 times. And it's all a PDF, so I can't even gift it to anybody. So, there's that. But that's okay. I was able to decide what I wanted to do. And, that's alright. Let me attach all this back together. My husband is not thrilled when he finds random needles all over the place. Can't say that I blame him. So, okay, there's that. Fold it all back up. Maybe. Okay. So, baby's down here drinking his bottle, so hopefully I can get through this real fast. So my last whip is actually my finish, my big finish. I had a couple little finishes, but this is my Sunny Sunflower. It is a kit. I think it's a Leisure Arts. Yeah, it's a Leisure Arts kit. This one I started last year for Mania. Don't have the dates because I'm not that prepared. Sometime in Mania last year. And I think I worked on it a total of 21 days. It was my car project for a couple months, but I think I worked on it for maybe I put maybe 50 stitches in it over that period of time. I put it in my car and then never had the chance to work on it for whatever reason. So, but anyway, this is finally done. I really, really enjoy it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. It needs a good wash, obviously, from the hoop marks. I just put it on the hanger today. But anyway, so I'm going to get it washed and framed and put it somewhere. Don't know where yet, though. But, so that's that. I really, really enjoyed it. I'll zoom in a little closer for you. There really weren't that many colors. I think it's only like a 14 color chart, but they really, really, there's a lot of dimension in it. I really enjoyed working on it until the very end with all the backstitch. Because I do backstitch as I go, but with this project I couldn't since I started in the flower and then worked my way out, and I wanted to do the backstitch of the leaves and the stem first. Sorry. To put, everybody's mad up there for some reason. There'll be tears in a second. I wanted to do the backstitch of the leaf first and then do the backstitch of the flower to kind of, at least in my head, give it the dimension that the flower was on top. But because of the, but I stitched the flower part first, so I had to wait and do the backstitch at the very end. Anyway, wasn't a fan of that, but that was just my own thing. This is stitched on an 18 count ivory Aida or off-white Aida, just like a cheap piece I got. I think I cut it, I think I got like the, big roll of it from Michael's or Hobby Lobby or something like that, and then just cut off a small piece. But yeah, I really like it. So that's that one. That's my big finish. Sorry, let me put this all back together so I don't lose it. Sorry. So there's that. I need to see if they slam it again if I need to go intervene. So I'm going to try and go through my purchases that I've acquired in the last couple months. There haven't been a whole lot because I knew we were moving, so I didn't want something to get lost in transit, or really I knew we were going to have to buy for a new house. I didn't have a whole lot of spending money this past couple months, and we were on vacation. But anyway, so this is a lot of stuff that I had bought like before we went to Florida, and then before we bought the house. So, and honestly, some of this I may have already showed you guys, but I just don't remember because it's been such a chaotic time period in my life lately. But these I don't think I showed you. These were, so these were Lizzie Kate packages, I think. That is all that I have here. I just kicked the chair. Well, this one's a Lizzie Kate. The other one somewhere else. So I got the ABCs of Parenting. we dropped the bottle. It was the ABCs of Parenting, and it came with all the weeks that it needs and whatever this is. When I bought it, I didn't actually realize I was buying the threads, but it is what it is. So our new house, side note, our new house is like 30 minutes away from 2 needlework stores, ABC Stitch Therapy and 3 Stitchers Needlework Shop, I think is the other one. So I am super excited to go find those and go shopping, and I'm going to try and find some fabric. It calls for 32 count lamb's wool from Zweigart. I don't know if that's what I'm going to use or not, but I'm going to try and find something similar, some neutral, or maybe just find some 32 count white and dye it. I'm not really sure yet. And then I also got these because I think they're adorable, and I wanted to get the other one also, but I didn't have, it was like 30 bucks for these, and I didn't have an extra $30 to get the other ones, but I got the 6 Fat Snowmen, or 6 Fat Men, Snowed In, Snow House, Snow Friends, Snow Fun, whoops, Snow Fun, Let It Snow, and Snow Days. And I'm gonna stitch them all like this, how she has them on the back. I probably need to download that. I hope it's still available. And I may try and go back and find the other one because I just think they're so cute. The other one was, they were snowmen too, but they weren't the Fat Men. They were just another snowman series. So those are, I'm not sure when I'm going to do these, but one day. Get off of it, please. It's not to stand on. And that one didn't come with the threads, so I'll have to find them, but I think they all only take a couple of overdyes. So yeah, it's just a handful of overdyes each. I may try and see if I have any like in stash first. And then this is the Stacy Nash Primitives Merry Christmas Pen Keep. And this, it's all one color. Well, it says it's all one color, but like when I look at it, like it says it just needs one skein of DMC 221. But this, like, I know it's hard to see, but like that, the R, that's definitely not the same color. So I don't really know. Sorry. I don't really know. I'm gonna have to look at this one a little harder, but I don't think it's gonna take very long to do because there's a lot of white space. It's only the stitch count is 123 by 87, and there's a lot of white space, so I don't think that this one would take very long to do. And I think I actually have fabric that I dyed that would work for this. So maybe I'm not starting anything anytime soon. Actually, who am I kidding? My life is. I need to get organized before I start anything else right now. So there's that. And I also got the Village Green, the Prairie Schooler Village Green reprint. Honestly, I bought it for the chicken one up here. I bought it for this. The other two were just like bonuses, but I bought it for this chicken one because I just think that's ridiculous. With the little baby chicks all in it, that, like, come on now. That's freaking adorable. And this one I really like too. This scene I like, but it was the chickens. I bought it for the chickens. Like, let's be honest. I'm not trying to fool anybody. I bought it for the chickens. So that was that one. And then I hear bangs. I don't even mind the bangs as long as I don't hear crying after. That's what I listen for at this point in life. As long as there's no crying, I assume everybody's fine. And then I got these. And like I said, these are a little bit older. I may have showed you, but I think I put them away to show you in my last video and forgot until I was already done. So this one I got from Half Price Books, I think. I was like on a whim went in, and it's Bent Creek Yule, and I really liked it. I don't have any that are just an alphabet, but I really like this if I can get it stitched up. It's all hand dyed or over dyed. It's all weeks. So I'm going to see if I can get this one stitched up before Christmas and maybe hang it up in the kids' playroom because the alphabet, so it goes for them, maybe, potentially. And then I think this one I also got from Half Price Books. Maybe not. Don't really know where I got this one from. Dog Lessons for People. And everybody's seen it. So that, and then here's a Lizzie Kate that I did get from Half Price Books. It's Children Are People, and it came with the buttons, with 3 buttons, and I only paid $1.50 for this. So, and I think there's 2 charts. I haven't even looked at it, to be honest. Mostly, I saw it right after they announced that they were closing shop, and I don't think I'll ever actually stitch it, but for $1.50, I couldn't pass it up, because that's what we do with stickers. We just hoard. But if anybody has been like really looking for this, just let me know. I won't ever stitch it. And yeah, there's 2 charts in here. But if somebody, like I said, if somebody really, really wants this, send me a message and we can make something work. It's cute, but it's really not my taste. And let's be honest, I like my kids. Everybody else's kids are kind of hit or miss. Sorry. And then there's a little freebie chart that I got, but I'm not going to show you that. So there was that one. And then last but not least, these I found on, I think, Stash Unload. And I think I paid like 20 cents a piece, which is why I got as many as I did. They're the Alphabet Mania, and I don't have them all, so I do need to find the rest of them. Because I would like to stitch these and hang them up for sure up in the playroom for the kids. But I have G is for goose. K is for key. Oh, sorry, I think I may have just showed the chart. N is for nest. O is for owl. P is for pineapple. T is for tea. U is unicorn. X is xylophone. Y is yolk, and Z is zebra. So I need to get the, like I said, I think they were like 20 cents each. And I've seen them at Half Price Books a couple times, but I didn't know which ones I had. And it seems like I can only ever find tea at Half Price Books. Or it seems like I find tea every time I'm there. But I know I have tea. I actually think I have tea several times because I think I've bought it at Half Price Books anyway. So, but those are them. And like I said, I need to find the rest of them. So as I come across them, if anybody else knows where I can get them for cheap, let me know. And I think that's it. I wrote down plans on my notes to talk about, but I don't have any. Honestly, it's just that simple. I don't have any. I do hope to... My 2-year-old's bringing me food. It must be lunchtime. I hope to... Don't give this to the dogs, please. Go sit down at the table with it. I hope that I can... My goal is to stitch every day. Sorry. My goal is to stitch every day in August. So far, we are on August 3rd, and I've stitched the last 2 days, so that's pretty good. I'm going to take that for right now. I would like to finish that other Verco kit that I'm working on, the one that I'm currently working on. I would like to get that one done. I haven't touched my spooky countdown in 2 months, so I would like to get some work on that done. I haven't touched my Halloween and quilt in 2 months, so I'd like to get some work on that done. I haven't touched my Haid in 2 months, so I'd like to get some of that done. Go get one. And then I think outside of that, I'm just going to play it by ear. Like I said, we have a busy month still with school starting. My mother-in-law took them and got them all school clothes, so at least I don't have to worry about that. But I still have to buy school supplies and actually get them enrolled, because I've only done that for one of them. But get them enrolled in school supplies, and then you have meet the teacher. You have like back to school night. You've got all the other stuff that goes along with new school year. So hopefully, I'm not even going to set any lofty goals. I would just like to touch them, put a couple stitches in them. Maybe I'm not going to say that. I would like to get caught up, but it's not going to happen this month. So we'll see. And just whatever I can get done this month. Hopefully, I know I say this every time, but hopefully at the end of September, October, what month are we in? August. Hopefully by the end of August, we'll be in a routine and be able to, like, I can actually make plans. We'll see. Like, so I'm not going to hold my breath, but we'll see. Did you get one? Go get one. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. He's all right. It was just his head. Thanks so much for watching. I gotta wrap this up before everybody loses it in here. Apparently it's lunchtime. My kids are melting down. So thanks. Subscribe to my channel if you liked it, and you can always find me on Instagram, summer_stitches. Here's the baby. I think he's breaking that computer, but whatever. Subscribe or follow me on Instagram. That's where I post every night when I'm done stitching. I take a picture and I post it there. That's where you can find the most up-to-date information of anything that's going on in my life, really. So until next time, thanks. Bye.